What is up, guys? Hello, welcome back. My name is Mr. Regular, and look who it is. It is Greninja EX. And first of all, what a card. What a beautiful card. The guy is so badass. But there hasn't really been a Greninja EX deck, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, there has been. It's in the Suicune deck. And you're like, you're not wrong. At the same time, there also hasn't legitimately been a Greninja EX deck. Because there's been one card that has been completely disrupting any rare candy deck. And I'm pretty sure you might know what I'm talking about. But it's this guy. This guy is a menace. He's absolutely shaken up this meta by storm. We are splashing it in almost every deck I've seen. And it's because it's so good. It's so good. It locks people out of playing Pokeballs, items, rare candies. That's the most important thing, is the rare candy. So that people end up having this massive hand. And then they can use things like Copycat, which is another great synergy card that just draws them all those cards so they can find their rare candy. And then they can red card afterwards. And then you watch your 9-hand go to 3 cards and you watch them draw out 9 cards and start rare candying everywhere. And you're like, what is happening? What is going on? It's because of this card. It's because of this card. It's a menace. So how do we deal with this card if we are planning on running a stage 2 deck? I'll tell you how. And it's actually very simple. It's very simple. I'm going to show the deck in a couple of seconds, but before we do, I want to remind everyone about the competition we are running. We are giving away any 2-star card. If you want a Professor Research, if you want a Greninja Rainbow, if you want... Oh, look at that. I didn't know you could do that. If you want a Copycat, my personal favorite card of the expansion, or if you want my favorite card in the whole game, Sabrina. All you need to do to enter is number 1, be subscribed. And then I'll let you know how to enter somewhere in the video. Because I don't know if you guys just watch and enter the competition and you don't watch the video. So that's the whole point, is to give something back. And we'll announce the winner the day that ranked returns, which is a couple of days. It's on the 27th. And I'll have a really fun deck for you guys, ready to hit Master Ball on day 1. So you guys can also hit Master Ball on day 1. And we can climb together. We can climb together all the way to the tippy top, top 1,000 again. We hit it every season, guys. So stay tuned, hit the notification bell, comment down below, and let's get started. Let's talk about this deck. It's a lot of fun. Alright, so here it is. This is the Greninja EX deck. And you'll notice a few different changes. So number 1, we're trying to mitigate the amount of item cards that we are playing. We are trying to naturally evolve Greninja into the EX, so that we don't have to worry about rare candies, we don't have to worry about Pokeballs. And the cool thing about Greninja, right, is we can put Suicune in the front and use him as a draw engine. We just use him as a draw engine. We don't have to commit energy, but we can commit from the back. Once we have 2 energy on Greninja, we are able to use shifting stream ability, shoot our way to the top, very much like Solgaleo, and start dishing out damage. Now 100 damage is not a lot, but it does add up. That's why we also run Cyrus. I'll talk about the tech cards in a bit, because, you know, I actually think that 2 Cyruses might be needed, because like 100 damage is just sometimes not enough, and you need to chase down those cards like pretty often. Either Cyrus or Sabrina, it's up to you really, but I like the list that I have right now. There's other cool cards that I've seen with Greninja EX, such as energy switches, so I was really trying to make those work. However, as I've said, those are item cards. Those aren't able to be used when you are playing against Chingling. When they're trying to lock you out of items, you can't play those cards. I did play some different iterations with red cards, and yeah, like, I still think that this is the best one. I think in terms of hand rip, you need hand rip. You need a card like Mars in this deck, because when you're using Suicune as like a draw engine, for example, the moment you get KO'd, that's the perfect time to Mars. So you reduce them down to 1 card, so you can let them like... Also, Suicune is a nightmare against Copycat decks, because you've got like 7 cards in your hand, right? They play their Copycat, they draw 7 cards, they're able to evolve, they knock out your Suicune, and then you need a way to be able to reduce their hand. You need a way. And so Mars is the best version. Red card is not it. The other cool card that we're talking about is May. Now, May has been seen in a few other decks, but the reason why I like it in this one is because we're naturally evolving. We're trying to find Frogadier, because again, like, we're only running one rare candy in this deck, and it does help. Trust me, it helps. Like, but the majority of the time, we're trying to play around Chinglings. May is needed to find either a Froakie, either the Greninja, or the Frogadier. Just want to talk about Frogadier. We're playing this version of Frogadier because it does 30 damage. The reason why that is important is because how much HP does Chingling have? 30. So this is the Frogadier to play, not the one that costs 2 energy. Not the new Frogadier, this is the one. Alright guys, remember, if you're new here, like, subscribe. Let's dive in. Alright guys, welcome. So this is game 1. We are playing against another Suicune. So the typical strategy, especially playing against Suicune, is that you don't want to build up your bench. You don't want to like bloat it up. Now, that being said, like, look what I'm doing. Like, I'm putting more Pokemon on the bench. I think primarily because I don't want to be red carded, because I have the rare candy in my hand. We only run one of rare candy because, again, we're trying to naturally evolve. Now, that does kind of like mitigate the... It is kind of counterproductive in terms of like turbocharging a Greninja, getting it online, Greninja EX. But against Chingling, trust me, you want 2 Frogadiers. You're gonna want 2 Frogadiers. So here's a great sort of exhibition in terms of how to get Greninja online. And by the way, Suicune can't. There's no combination of cards in the deck that it can take 200 damage attacks back to back. So even if it puts an Erida, even if it puts a cape on, it's never going to survive. So it's in a lot of trouble. We do have Cyrus in our hand. Cyrus is... I want to just talk about Cyrus because I really think running 2 Cyruses might be very good in this deck, because 100 damage is not a lot of damage. Unless you've got both Greninjas, which by the way actually happens quite often. You can manage to get both Greninjas online. But 100 damage is not a lot, so especially like... Ooh, that window's quite hectic. Especially with cards like Lily, when you're attacking into stage 2, Indeedee can heal. There's a lot of cards that just... 100 damage is not enough, man. So yeah, 2 Cyruses might be the move. Even a red, I guess? Nah, don't play red. Don't play red. Forget I said that. But I like Giant Cape over Rocky Helmet because of a lot of attacks doing 440. So you want your Suicune to be able to survive those things like Blaziken, etc. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but if you see the name of this deck, I called it Kentucky Fried Blaziken because this deck absolutely destroys Blaziken decks. So yeah, we're just doing some pivoting. We're doing some free pivoting. Of course, we get to keep the energy on Greninja EX because its ability is able to swap out any water Pokemon, and they don't have any points on the board, right? So we can just continue just to hammer down with our Suicune from the back, and they don't really have much to do. They can't do anything really. So they play a Repel, and it's quite funny because typically that might have got them a point, but we can just put Suicune in, and yeah, like we can just retreat them out for free next turn, even though it's got a 2 retreat cost. Greninja EX's ability, Shifting Stream, will just go, I don't care about retreat costs. Here's Suicune in the face, and just win the game like that. But yeah, GG's, good game 1. Let's go to the next one. Game 2! Playing against a Altaria. What gave it away? We're playing against an Altaria. We've got the rare candy in hand again, and we're going second. I mean, this is like, in my opinion, as good as it gets. They do go first, which sucks for them. They do find Giratina. I don't like this particular version. I think Giratina... Indeed, like, I think it does have a spot. I mean, they might have just started badly. Like, it might have been an absolute hellish nightmare to play against this deck going first. But nevertheless, like, we're in such a great spot to go. Like, I don't even bother attacking because I don't want them to use their... Because I do 20 damage. They heal for 20 HP. So I'm like, just, like, what's the point, really? But yeah, I do not retreat out my Froakie. And yeah, I cape my Froakie just because they do play copycats. So I kind of want to just make sure my hand is relatively thin. It's very windy where I live. Sorry guys if you hear that whistling sound. But yeah, kind of just dropping my hand here because I want a copycat. And we can draw 3. Ideally, we can try to find the other Greninja. But now, at this point, we find the Pokeball. This is great. This is the version I was playing red card in because of copycat red card. That combination is very good in and of itself. But I think it's very good when you're running 2 copycats. I'll explain more about that in another deck where I do run 2 copycats in a red card. But right now, we're just focusing on this deck. Like, red card, I did exchange it for Mars because, like, red card just sometimes is just not enough, right? It's just not enough. It's not enough hand rip. So, especially when you're using Suicune as a draw engine, I've explained this before, but when you lose those 2 cards and they've copycatted your Suicune hand and they've got 9 cards, you need to be able just to, like, really seriously, like, reduce the card range into, like, 1 card. Because a lot of the times they'll have that win condition in the hand. And if you draw them into 3 cards with red card at least, they still have a much higher chance of redrawing that Cyrus. So you want to, like, find Mars. So here they're just wasting time with their DD because they know they've lost it. And now we can just start naturally evolving our backline. We can put our energy on Suicune. Get ready for a follow-up attack. There's nothing in their deck that can really hurt our Greninja. We've got 190 HP, which is insane. They keep on loading up their bench, which is not good because that just makes our Suicune hit harder. And we can retreat back into our Suicune for free. We can keep all the energy on Greninja and now hit for much harder with the Suicune because this is a full lineup. Like, Suicune hits the hardest when it's like this. And of course we can draw out better cards. We can use Irida, but ideally we've won this game. Like, we've got Cyrus in hand. They do find Mars here. So it becomes a bit, like, annoying that that they found Mars. But still, like, they aren't going to be able to KO my Suicune. And because they've got no points on the board, we're going to be able to, like, do back-to-back hits. They put the other Mega Altaria hit, so now we're going to have to go through 2 Mega Altarias, which is kind of nightmarish. But again, that wind is crazy. I live in Cape Town, very windy city. You can go Google it, just like on a sidebar. It's a beautiful city, but it's crazy windy, especially this time of the year. We have, like, kite surfing and stuff like that, the world champion kite surfing, which is just like, it's crazy, yeah. Anyways, we managed to top deck Cyrus. We win the game. Cool. GG. Let's go next. We're going first this game. It is against an Oricorio. Now, this deck will struggle against Oricorio, but we do have an option for it. We got the other Greninja. We've got a way of dealing with it. It's not like we also lose to it. They're playing an Ampharos. I don't know if I'm ever pronouncing that name correctly, but I don't think the card's good. Unfortunately, I have to say it, the card is not good. Oh, the reason why we are copycatting, because we have no basics, we don't have a rare candy, we've got... But the copycat was probably as good as it was ever going to be, because we found our rare candy. But even still, like, even if we didn't find rare candy, we've got the Greninja, we've got May, we've got Professor Research. We very likely would have been able to naturally evolve into Frogadier. Like, just move around the energy a little bit differently, but, like, eventually we would have been able to find the Greninja very easily with those 2 consistency cards. Don't know what is going on with the lighting right now. It's probably because I'm, like, standing by my window. But yeah, so they naturally evolve their sheep. Forgetting its name, going blank. They're sheep. But they make a mistake. In my opinion, this was a mistake. Look at me trying to... I'm trying to, like, open the card. But this is a recording of the game. Oh, wow. I'm dumb. But, yeah. So, I think it was a mistake by attacking because they've got no other energy on the board. They were an energy behind, but Greninja can just KO an Oricorio. So this guy, I feel as though, was just playing random stuff in his deck. Like, I was like a Team Rocket grunt, dude. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know what good Ampharos decks there are right now. And again, I think he makes a mistake by placing his energy on Zeraora. But now you can see we are naturally evolving. We've got the Frog EX. That is a tournament, but that is not the name of the Pokemon. But you'll see what we do here, right? We move Suicune into the front, and we put our energy on the back. Because remember, we don't care about retreat once Greninja EX is online. Because Greninja, the one that does ping, is not going to be able to... It's going to get knocked out next turn if the Zeraora attack. So we pivot out completely free. You can probably see the line now. They evolve into the Ampharos. And yeah, we just get our Greninja online and we can just, for free, ignoring all the retreat cost, and we can hit for 100 damage. And of course, we can start going to town on the Ampharos. Now, yeah, I think they made a mistake by putting their energy on Zeraora, because they would have been able to attack next turn. They would have been able to attack next turn with Ampharos if they put the energy on him the turn before. But I don't think it would have been enough. They didn't have any points on the board, because we were able to pivot out for free. We can attack for 120 damage. Now typically I would actually put the energy on Greninja because he would hypothetically do more damage than the Suicune. Because we're not running any other basics, there's no Giratina, so we can't even bloat up our damage more than 40 for a Suicune. So Greninja was actually the move. Also, considering if we are drawn into an Erida, we wanted to heal the board, right? But yeah, nevertheless, the guy concedes, and we go next. Okay, so I did want to find a game where we did play against a Chingling, and this deck is a Decidueye deck. Sorry, I went blank there, but we've got the combos in our hand. We've got Rare Candy, but of course they're Chinglinging us. They went first, so we can't use Rare Candy. We can't. Even though we've got the card in our hand, we would be able to smash a Chingling to pieces the following turn. But we can't. So we can naturally evolve though, because we do have the Frogadiers in our hand. The issue is, because we're taking such a couple of turns to evolve, we don't get that immediate aggression. So we're going to keep Suicune in the front. Now I'm choosing not to Professor Research because for some reason I'm scared of a copycat, and for them to just start going ham with our with their Decidueyes. But it turns out that they don't find the cards that they need this turn, and even still, I don't know if yeah, I think I don't know if, and even still, like, I don't even know if moving in with Decidueye right now is the move. Actually, if I'm that player right now, I almost want to find my copycat, because look at the juicy hand that I have, you know. But the thing is, I should be searching for one card. I should be searching for it. But here, and by the way, it's Mars. That's the card I should be searching for. So I should actually Professor Research here, because once we lose our Suicune, again, we want to be able to reduce the card range down to 1. Make sure that they only have 1 Decidueye that we have to deal with. But Decidueye is very, very good against Suicune because they have so much healing that they can just heal past whatever damage we are able to output, and they are able just to hone in on the price points that they need. So they do rare candy, and I'm thinking, wow, okay, so they don't have any points on the board. So if it's a Decidueye EX, like we can wither it down. But they evolve into the other Decidueye, and this one is able to put 70 damage across onto the board. So they make a very smart move here, because I was thinking next turn they take up my Furky. I was thinking about like Professor researching and finding my other Greninja, the regular one, and then I've got ping damage, so I'm going to be able to hit for 120 damage. But now they take it out, and I'm thinking, okay, so now this guy, all he needs to do is focus on the Suicune that I have right now, because he can hit anywhere in the board. So I really need to start hammering down damage. So I put the giant cape on because I know that he's going to hit for 70 damage, and I'm saving my Irida. I should be searching for my cards at the same time. I'm just like, the copycat's coming, and like I'm going to have to deal with another Decidueye. But nevertheless, I've also lost my ability to ping damage across the board and sire something else up, which would have been awesome against the Chingling. But yeah, so they're playing relatively well. And this is the problem with 100 damage, right? Because almost everything is going to just, like lilies, all that stuff, it's going to heal whatever you're attacking out of range. The good thing is that if you're attacking first, they have to go through a lot of HP. They have to go through 170. They have to go through like just Suicunes and draw power and pings. So a lot of the time, like, it's justified with the low damage, with just the amount of pressure, the amount of like energy sustained, the turbo charging of the deck, and yeah, the Irida there. Like, guys, Irida is important in this deck. I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Let me know how this deck goes for you. Experiment with some other cards. I played Sabrina, I played 2 Cyruses. You can see why 2 Cyruses might be important. This deck farmed Blaziken. I didn't get any Blaziken for some reason. Don't play Blaziken. And yeah, man, have fun. Let me know how it goes. Remember, if you want to enter the competition, you just enter down below whatever 2-star card you want. And on the 27th, we're going to be announcing the winner, and we will have that deck ready for you. Remember, 27. Alright guys, have fun. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers.